As you know, I have enrolled in a $2,500 course so you don't have to. Today I wanted to talk about the leadership module. This is going to be a 6-part series on the Small Business Flight School by Donald Miller and Business Made Simple. If you don't know me, my name is Rick. I am also a story brand guide, so I'm well familiar with all of the products that Donald Miller does, but I wanted to approach this class and I wanted to take this class myself to see if it's actually worth $2,500. Now, I'm going to give you my real opinion on all of this. Do I get commission from it if you use my link? I do. I absolutely do, but I'm going to give you the pluses and the minuses of what I think this whole program is. And today we're going to be talking about the leadership module. Okay, so my first thoughts on this program is so far is that it's very much worth it. The number one knock I have, and I'll just tell you the number one knock I have right off the bat, is that this leadership section right at the very beginning is definitely geared towards companies who are relatively bigger. Because in my business, I'm a solopreneur, so it's just me and I don't have people to manage. It's not as big of a deal. However, I want to talk through just a few things that I really liked and give you just a few insights on what I chose to do for it. Now, Don talks about a big problem and a big reason why leadership needs to be firmly fermented, and that is that 25% of businesses fail within the first year, 45% fail within the 5th year, and 65% of businesses fail within 10 years. So statistically, if you're a business owner, your business is statistically not going to make it 10 years. What do we need to do to combat that? So the first part that we kind of go over, they set the foundation, kind of set the expectations for the course right off the bat. But the first thing that they walked into that I really liked was talking through the mission statement and what the mission statement needs to be. The second part of leadership that really talks about the mission statement and how important it is to cast that vision. So what Don recommends and what I thought was really helpful is if you define 3 economic objectives for your business. So it needs to be, you know, something like a revenue goal, client serviced, and a date that it needs to be done by. That way everybody knows, like, hey, we're trying to hit $500,000 this quarter and we need to engage 50 extra clients for that, and we've got 3 months to do it. And that's just an example for a mission statement that is for the remaining quarter of the year. He recommends that you change that mission statement often. That way everybody is just circled around the economic objectives of the company. The next part that I really liked, and I wanted to set this up because it actually helps me in my solopreneurship on how I want to be perceived by other people, and that is the characteristics of your employees. And real quick, I want to read off the characteristics that I want if I were to ever have employees, what I wanted them to be, just so you can get an idea of what the brainstorming process was like. The first characteristic I wanted people to have was they always choose to do the right thing. The next is that they're always willing to invest in others, to go the extra mile, to help people, to be genuine servants. And the last characteristics I wanted in myself and my clients is that they honor their work. There's something really special about honoring the work that you're doing, not just because you're doing it for a paycheck, but rather because you've been gifted to do the work. I really want myself and my employees to honor the work because of the gifts I've been given by God. The next part is he also recommends that you define critical actions that you're doing every single day. Now, I have listened to a countless number of business books, and if you are like me and have done that, you will notice one key characteristic that almost every successful entrepreneur and business owner does is they do the same things that are effective every single day. So essentially they define what are the critical actions that have to be done every single day to keep this boat rowing. Mine is that I'm always asking for referrals, right? My business is very reliant on referrals. So by the way, if you know somebody who needs some really great marketing or some story branding in their life, be sure to send them my way. I would love to help them with that, and I'd love to give you a shout out for helping me with that. Next is that I'm always looking to improve the experience, that I continue to add more value to these people and continue to help them grow. And the last critical action is that I always follow through on what I'm saying I'm going to do. I feel like we live in a day and age where a lot of people just don't do what they say they were going to do, and I think this is very important. So he also leaves a spot for core values because there are a lot of companies that love to have core values, and I have no problem with that. For example, like my church, they have core values. They say love God, love people, make disciples. I think those are great core values. You can have those. He said they're optional, and I agree. I think they should be optional. So those are the main points that we go through on the leadership training granted, I'm giving you a 30,000 foot view of what that looks like and what I ended up doing. You have an entire workbook that goes with it, so you could be filling it in. This would be really good if you have a leadership team to do along with your leadership team. I would limit that leadership team to 3 people, because once you start to have too many people in the room, it just ends up, everybody has all these ideas. The 3 main leaders in the business probably need to be in that room, if not just 1 person. So I would encourage you to do that. So far, I'm really enjoying this. I really believe that if you have a business of, say, 5 to 50 people, and you're looking to double that revenue in the next few years, I think defining these things and sticking to them is going to be extremely helpful for not only hitting that double revenue goal, but cultivating a culture that people really want to work at, because it is hard to hold on to good employees and it's hard to attract good employees. So I think this is an absolute critical thing that you define and stick to. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be going over marketing next, which is going to be my forte. So I would love to kind of give some insight as a StoryBrand guide on what that looks like. I know it goes really heavy into the StoryBrand framework, and if you're not familiar with StoryBrand framework, you can read Building a StoryBrand by Donald Miller. It absolutely changed my business, and it changed my business so much that I wanted to start teaching other people to do that. That's why I became a guide. But keep an eye out for that. I'm going to cover that next. Anyways, I appreciate you for stopping by. Please consider subscribe. I'm really trying to grow this channel so that I can start helping more and more people with their marketing. I appreciate you, and thank you, and have a good one.